All right, folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh Juice, an indie game podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tommy Fresh, and joined as always, it is
Maddie. Juice, 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 juice. What is going on, everybody? It's good to be back talking about games. Exciting episode we have ahead of us with the Steam Next Fest concluding yesterday, today, day of recording. I forget when, but recently.
one of the days. It's by the time you're listening to this, it has concluded, and we played a decent amount of demos. We got in there. We really, messed around, played around with them, and kind of like, maybe found some gems that are going to be coming out soon. So, which is the target for Next Fest. Although, listen, I've heard some people say that the Next Fest is actually bad for developers.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know if you know a good take from a bad take at this point,
I don't actually.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. I tried to play a good variety of Next Fest games. I didn't get to everything that I wanted to, but it looks like some of the demos are still up that I wanted to play, which is awesome because I know some of them do come down. So I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, same. There's a few I also did not get to, but I did put some work into some of them. So we'll be talking about that. Some notable releases. We have a juicy take coming from Matthew over here.
Ooh.
And, then we'll answer some listener questions and send off on our merry way as we take a little pass through the rec room. But we will get there. Now, we got to catch up. How you been? What's going on? How was your week?
Yeah, everything's going pretty good. We had our little the baby, as I like to say. The baby is we did our 6-month checkup with her at the doctor. Everything's looking good, which is awesome. So that was good. And then I just been, last week playing a good amount of demos. I started doing this thing where I just work has been so busy and I just haven't had time to like do my content where basically I take like an hour and a half after work every day to like do something content related like this podcast right now, what we're doing. Look at that.
Beautiful.
And honestly, it has been great. Like just carving out a sliver of time, whether I get something done or not, I'm making progress toward it. I'm editing videos and all that. So, anyone out there that is a content creator and is struggling with time, I suggest just looking at your calendar, being like, I'm going to just slice out an hour a day and you'll be surprised how much progress you made. I've released like 2 or 3 videos, like hour-long videos last week. So that was a lot of fun doing that. And then, we had to meet with our accountant on Saturday. That's, tax season kind of stuff, spending time with the baby. And then Sunday, we had Tommy Fresh and Lady Fresh come on over to see the baby. And that was a good time.
Got to hang out with her. Yeah, it was fun.
She was very happy to see you guys, which is awesome. You never know. She's going to be happy or just kind of neutral or upset about seeing people, but she was very happy. It was a good time. I'm glad you guys get to hang out with her. And that was pretty much the whole weekend. It was just a lot of family stuff, baby stuff, but it was good. It was good. So it's good to have you guys over.
Yeah, no, it was fun. She was in good spirits, but then she got tired, of course, as babies do.
Yeah,
and that was cool. What else did I worked a lot last week as well. And some bad news out in my industry, especially in my territory, in terms of like some businesses kind of not doing so well that I deal with. And you're just like, ugh. But, we're pushing on, we're pushing through. But I did do a tournament, Flesh and Blood tournament on Saturday out in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Shout out Bluebell. And I top 8'd and then lost in the first round of the top 8, unfortunately. So back at the grind these next couple weekends to try to qualify for the Pro Tour. But we will see how that goes. I'm excited. There's a lot of like cool stuff going on in Flesh and Blood right now. They just announced the new set. I think as soon as I'm done here, I think they have like a full like product page announcement. So I'll be taking a look
Ooh.
at that for the other content that I do. That's it. And then I was out in Hershey for a couple days for work, and I just got back, and
Yeah.
boy, my arm's tired. But it was fun. It was cool to hang out with like the whole company and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Well, that's the Hershey company, right? You're doing
the Hershey,
you're
yeah,
like Willy Wonka.
yeah,
You're like the up and coming Willy
I am.
Wonka. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a army of Oompa Loompas at my beck and call.
Yeah.
We're doing well. But hey, listen, they did make a big announcement at my work yesterday, that kind of shook us all to the core,
Yeah.
but I kind of saw it coming. It was that there is a Fresh Juice Discord, folks.
Oh my
And
god! These segues are getting better and better because you're getting me. I'm like, really? Yeah, that's amazing.
and it is awesome, and you should all check it out. It's in the show notes below. But let's kick off the meat and potatoes of the episode with a bang, with your juicy take. Those who are longtime listeners have realized that we now do a juicy take of the week, where we try to get a little controversial, like a hot take here, and people are very, very accepting of these takes generally, and they take them in stride.
Yeah.
This week we have one from Matthew.
Yes, we do. So, my juicy take, we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
taking a trip to the physical representation of indie games. Okay. We're talking about indie games that you play in person at things like PAX East, conventions. And my juicy take is I believe that conventions that have an indie game presence is a waste of time for the indie devs. as much as
Whoa.
as much as we love it, right? We as consumers, we love to play the games. And of course, the devs, I do think have a good time, but I feel like it ends up not really helping out those games because it's expensive to get there. It's expensive to actually set up a booth. And then, there are just it's not a really the most optimal way to market your indie game, where I feel like more times than not, we play a game there that ends up not, there's no way a lot of these games end up being profitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kung Fu Kickball, even like Plunder Panic. Like I just, they're great games. I have fun playing them, but I almost feel like nowadays at least, it might be more worth it for those devs to invest that money into maybe a content creator that could help promote their game, some other way of promotion that's a little bit more, has chances of going viral, right? Like I've seen, and not that that's the goal of all these different advertising, but I've found out like a lot of indie games through social media, and I find out, new games while at PAX, but, in other conventions, but I just feel like it probably doesn't help. As fun as it is for the
Mm-hmm.
devs and for us, right? Because I still want them to show up. I still want to play those games. I just don't think that it ends up helping them that much, unless they make the right contact and they're, maybe they meet a publisher there that can help them. But I just feel like most of the games we see don't end up doing that well. And who knows, maybe that would have been a different story if they didn't spend money to go to not just PAX East, but any convention,
Mm-hmm.
because it is getting more and more expensive to get out there and set up a booth. So that's my hot take, is that I think indie devs should focus more on trying to advertise their games digitally, because I feel like there's a higher success rate, or at least hiring someone that knows how to market a game versus doing all the work to set up a booth at a convention and getting people that walk by and getting some playtime there. I feel like I've only downloaded a small handful of games that I've played at PAX, even though I've enjoyed more than a small handful at PAX. Um, so yeah, that's my hot take right there, Tommy. I'm interested to know what you think about that.
I see where you're coming from, right? I think that there is certainly merit to that because it you have to be impactful, right? When you're spending that kind of money and you're putting people up in hotels. You can either I think like to make it impactful, I think either you gotta like be just one person hanging out near one of like the little columns where they have like three games going at the same
Yeah.
time. Like the publisher areas are really nice, right? That's good for indie games. But like if you're like kind of just getting into the indie sphere, you gotta make your booth like an event
Yeah.
and drive people to your social media and stuff like that. Like, oh my god, look at this picture. Oh, they have like a spinny wheel or whatever. Like stuff like that. Like, hopefully the game talks for itself too, but you kind of need to bring people to the game when you're at these conventions because it is chaotic there, and that can be tough. So I think you're on to something because I think like devs are devs, right? And
Yeah.
that is what they're good at, not necessarily marketing themselves all the time, right? So, that can be difficult. I think that you can do it and have it be worth it. And you kind of like really like do some serious stuff. Like I'm trying to think of some games that I know for sure did well after we saw them
One of them
at,
that comes to mind is Dead Cells, but it also did well because of the whole plagiarism thing with
yeah,
IGN and all that, which, helped give it a boost. But that one I always think of as, when we first saw it, they just had a few laptops set up with like a banner. And then a few years later, it was like a giant castle. Like they had an amazing
yeah,
booth.
yeah, yeah,
So they definitely grew. But it's hard to like even games like Spider Heck, right? They had a crazy booth.
yeah,
People were like
yeah.
hyped up, ended up fizzling out. Kung Fu
That was
Kickball,
that was at the
you know.
publisher booth,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So like you get that hype and I feel like not to like cut you off, but I feel
No, you
like
could.
with like in-person events, sometimes like a game isn't ready, to be shown. It might be a little too early.
Mm-hmm.
And those dates are like hard dates when, if you're thinking about like digital marketing, you can invest that money whenever you're ready to. So a dev might try to rush something to get ready for PAX and have like a 15 to 30-minute slice of their game available. And when someone's like, wow, I had a great time. Are you guys going to be on the Switch? No, we're thinking
Yeah.
about it. But we're going to be coming out on PC in 2027. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna forget about this game probably unless I add it to my wish list right now. So I just think I have a great time playing in person, but it can be really hard because of what you mentioned, like indie devs. A lot of them aren't that great at the marketing side of things,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they're a little bit handcuffed because of in person events where I feel like they want to see people excited in person about their game, and that's why they go. But
Yeah.
it's not really the way to success for most games, most indie games. So yeah, it can be tough, and this is just coming from our experience, like at PAX. Like I've been to like New York Comic Con. I haven't been to like every game convention, so it might look a little different or work a little different at other ones. But um, yeah, I just think that there are games that I think would have been a lot more successful if we talk about it all the time if they weren't even at in-person events,
Yeah.
right? And
Sure.
like we saw it on like on Twitter, on YouTube, or something like that, and
Hmm.
it kind of blew up a little bit more from there. So anyway, yeah, that's the hot take there. But it's
That's fair. I'm just looking
yeah,
at my game library and like thinking about what like I would deem successful that we played at PAX. I think Hell Clock was successful.
yeah,
We played that at PAX. After that, I know we played. No, I'm because like I'm trying to
yeah,
remember what we played. I mean, Animal Well, I played at PAX,
yeah.
right? But
That
maybe that
that
was
one,
going to be popular no matter what.
yeah, and that one was close to release too. I feel like that was like
Yeah.
perfect timing for them to be at PAX, right? Because
Oh,
people
actually, no.
knew
I played
about it.
it a year prior. The
Oh,
first
you did.
time I
Okay.
didn't get to play it. The one that because they were at PAX
Yeah.
twice. Um. Yeah. What was the one that we really loved? Astro Duel 2. I think that
Yes.
was a success in its own right. Man, what else did we play? I'm trying to look through this list here.
That's also like speaking of Astro Duel 2, that is, they didn't have like online components either. So like they're riding on in-person success anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like
Yeah.
truly like a couch, party game. So I think that also is part of it where like if someone I know for Astro Duel, I was like, this is awesome, but I'm only
Mm-hmm.
going to be able to play this when I'm hanging out with other people. It would be awesome
Yeah.
if they had online because we probably would have got a few sessions in, even maybe with the juice heads. Um, and I just, yeah, there's a lot of factors. And, I know that was kind of a blanket statement before, but there's definitely a lot of factors like, with
Yeah.
Donkey being behind Animal Well, that obviously helps. Um, but I even remember like we had fun playing some of those Atari games, like Corp or
Yeah.
whatever. Like those are fun, and I still
They
see
got a lot of
them.
money behind them, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I don't know how much of a success they actually were. So I have a different lens now when I'm at PAX. Like I played The Last Caretaker at PAX, right? That and that ended up being more of a success than I was thinking it would be, releasing in early access. I've seen a lot of people now bring that up as one of their go-to kind of single player survival games, which is really cool. So I kind of try to look at things a little differently now when, well, when we're going to be going. Of I'll have fun with a game there, but I'm really looking for those games that like can have a good lifespan, basically. So yeah.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
you are an indie dev thinking about going to PAX East and showing off your game, don't listen to Matt because we want to play it.
Yeah, hey, it's also a networking event too. Maybe a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
indie devs want to network. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've met some awesome devs there and gotten some access to their games and reviewed them. So that's also another benefit of going in person is you can network. But I just think indie devs shouldn't go to in-person conventions looking to be like, this is going to blow my game up. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not going to happen, right? And I think some devs we've talked to kind of maybe think that because their game is super hyped at PAX, and then it just kind of falls a little flat. So keep up the great work though. I'm not
Keep up the
anti
great
indie
work.
dev. It's just be smart with your money, especially these days as things get more expensive. So
Amen.
there it is.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to get the word of mouth thing going, and you just hope it does. If not, I mean, like, yeah, your other channels are good too. Now, let's move on to some notable releases this week. There's quite a few. The first one is a game that we'll be reviewing next week. Slay the Spire 2 is launching in early access, finally.
I need to
We got
capture the screen. Sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
okay. Um this this game obviously very hyped. It got delayed. Then we finally got to look at some gameplay. There's going to be co-op and I don't know how that's going to work. So, this is one of those weird ones like I don't think this should have launched in early access, like based on what we know about Slay the Spire, right? Like what is the early access part of this? Are they going to be, waiting to do some balancing based on stuff? Is the team like not fully equipped to balance it on their own? Maybe that's the thing. Like with these card games, there needs to be a lot of like, balancing. So
Yeah.
it is exciting. I'm excited to play it. I have no doubt it's going to be a banger because the first one was. So uh, I'm interested to see how the actual like co-op experiences because that seems crazy.
Yeah, and I was on that same boat where I was like, why is this releasing in early access? I thought the same thing about Hades 2, and that ended up like obviously being really successful as well, with early access. And then actually when they revealed that there's the four-player co-op, I was like, "Oh, maybe that's why because that's
Mm-hmm.
a lot it's a lot different to balance that versus, solo play." So like maybe it won't be that long of an early access period, but maybe they were like, all right, we don't want to release this completely broken. Because it's not just two player, it's four player. Like that is a lot of variables in these sort of, combat encounters. So yeah, we'll see. I hope it's not a long early access period for it. I haven't seen I don't know if there is a roadmap for it yet. Maybe as we get close or after it launches, we'll get one. But um, I'm excited for this though, and I haven't. Slay the Spire was something I got to late, right after
Mm-hmm.
all the hype. I enjoyed playing it, but I did not sink a ton of time into it because I knew the second one was coming, and I'm like, all right, I want to. That's what I want to sink my time into. So I'm really excited to try this one out. I'm sure it'll be great, and excited to play with some peeps.
Yeah, and we got it looks like two new characters to play as. I mean, at least from what we see. Like obviously, we still have the Silent, and then I always forget the names of them. Ironclad looks like we're back. The Silent, and then what is the robot one? I always forget. But then we got two new ones that look really sweet. I don't know if also you're going to be able to play as multiple characters like solo,
Hmm.
right? Like it looks like in some of these screen grabs that your deck kind of gets combined, right? You have like your like one character cards and then another character cards all mixed together. So sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
Um, what else is coming out? We have Pluto, your dog.
My dog's coming out. Yeah, this is one you played, I think, the demo maybe for this, right? This is a
uh,
roguelike deck builder. Did you try this one out? I remember
I
talking about it a
downloaded
while
the
ago.
I downloaded the demo, and then this is one of the ones I didn't get to, but I did watch like a lot of like let's plays, like early acts or like early sneak peeks. This one looks crazy and like really fun. Another deck
Yeah.
builder, or finger builder. I don't know if that's what it is, but yeah, you
Whoa.
have you basically get these runes on your finger, and you like cast spells based on how you know you choose to like bend each finger, which is a really cool concept. It's like this strange first person uh deck builder like roguelike game. So
Yeah.
this one looks cool. I love the art style too. It's like super janky, and yeah, this one comes out on the 9th. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, definitely a pretty cool looking one. I love that art style too. It just reminds me of like old school retro kind of games and very illustrated, which is cool. And then the weird part is like you're trying to escape prison on your way to your niece's birthday party. That's what it says. So that's
really,
interesting. Yeah, would not expect that from this sort of game, but yeah, it looks cool. I did not get a chance to play the demo for Pluto, but might have to give it a whirl and see if it's worth picking up.
absolutely. Next we have Card Wheel. Is this
Yeah.
another this is good. This is another Boucher like kind of like probably just try to make a ton of big numbers.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
I just threw this in
roulette.
because I'm like, it's yet another classic kind of game. Someone's trying to turn to a roguelite, where you're just spinning a big wheel. I don't know if this one, the gameplay is fun if you're just kind of spinning a wheel and see what happens. But I just want to throw it in here because I was like, hey, look at that, another one, another one.
Hey,
Um,
we
but
were we
yeah,
were keen to it. It's funny, like it's out and there's no. I don't think anybody's reviewed it yet, so it
hmm
looks a little janky. But maybe it is good. Maybe it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like get different kinds of marbles going. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Seems
Just
like
don't lose them.
a little simple kind of game, time killer kind of vibe. Doesn't seem like it's super strategic, but
Yeah.
card wheel. There you go.
Amen. Peregrino?
Ooh, yeah, this one looks cool. Never heard of this game. Comes out March 6th, but it's a dark isometric survival adventure. Kind of gives me some Path of Exile ish vibes, but it is
Yeah.
single player. It also reminds me of No Rest for the Wicked a little bit as well in terms of the art style. But yeah, this one just, I don't know, just seemed really cool. Gather resources, hunt deadly creatures, upgrade your caravan, which you carry along with you, and then care for companions and lead them through the vast wilderness in search of New Eden. So I don't know. This one I haven't played. There is a demo for it. I haven't played it, but it just felt pretty polished in the trailer. It's kind of seems like so. Might be one I have to go check out and try. I've been getting more and more into these isometric kind of games for whatever reason. So might have to try this one out. But yeah, it looked pretty cool. Peregrino, which I keep thinking is Pellegrino, but
Yeah.
it is
So I was
not.
like, "Ugh."
Yeah. So yeah, seems like an interesting take on like a survival game.
Yeah, yeah, it does look neat. I love the art style here because it's kind of got that like kind of grim, like almost. It reminds me of I'm trying to remember what game this truly reminds me of. Like yeah, like a little like the isometric obviously is close to maybe it's is it Darkwood is the game I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Whoa,
whoa.
Darkwood.
But yeah, no, it looks cool. Darkwood might have been, I think, just a straight up horror, top down game.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I could
Yeah,
see that. Yeah,
yeah. But
interesting.
next game, I know a lot of people are pretty hyped on. I think understandably so. It looks quite good. It is Esoteric Ebb. It just came out. This is a CRPG. It really awesome art style, story driven, and I mean it's been out. It came out today. It's already a very positive, and kind of has from what I hear a similar system to like Disco Elysium.
Mm,
In terms of the RPG elements, it looks interesting. I mean, it's being published by Raw Fury. They like rarely miss. It looks like maybe it was a solo dev. The dev is just a guy's name, so
yeah,
I would assume maybe a solo dev. I mean, probably not completely solo because it looks like this. There's a lot of work that went into this, but this is one that I'm going to keep on my radar because it seems like it could be like a really fun experience, and like a good foray into this genre,
yeah.
for myself anyway. So yeah, it looks neat.
That's what I was thinking because I don't typically play these kind of games, but looking how cool this, the art style and just the 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 theme of the game. I was thinking the same thing. Oh, this might be kind of my first venture into this sort of genre. Um, and it is single player as well. So
Hmm.
that's good. You go at your own pace. You don't need to wait for people to play. So yeah,
Steam Deck verified.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
It's a
Very
you,
cool.
you get to unravel a political conspiracy with your goblin sidekick, which is like kind of like basically my dream job. So I could see myself getting into this. Now, what else is it? Rotwood is a game that just released in 1.0. I just noticed that, English reviews had it like very positive, like over 2,000 uh, reviews. So I was like, oh, it didn't just come out. This came out in 1.0. It's a game that like it's kind of interesting. Like it's like some of these early access games you don't even hear about until they hit 1.0, and like
Yeah,
obviously they had like already had a huge following. But it's like a hack and slash beat 'em up. We saw a we saw Absalom like really kind of shake things up in this genre,
yeah.
and I wonder if this can kind of ride that coattails of success. So it looks pretty neat. The recent reviews are mixed. I'm not sure why, but overall, it seems like people really enjoyed the early access, and they're excited to continue to play it in the full release. Which, from what I read, it released in Steam and Switch 2 for the
Oh,
full release. So,
nice.
and it was like a surprise 1.0 drop, which
Oh,
is cool.
wow. That's always cool. Yeah, this looks very interesting. It actually kind of looks like it has a little bit more space than Absalom in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
the fighting, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, this seems interesting. You know, Absalom was it's also one of those games where like I've never really been into like the beat 'em ups other than like Ninja Turtles, I guess I played a decent amount. So that got me into the beat 'em up. So yeah, this one looks pretty interesting. Rotwood. Yeah, never heard of it either. So I don't know how long it's been in early access, but seems pretty cool. And like similar to the last game, I love this art style.
Yeah,
You know, it just it
it feels like
nostalgic.
classic
Yeah.
Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like what was the Grim Adventures of Billy and
Billy and
Mandy?
Mandy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Courage the Cowardly Dog, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty neat.
Yep.
Gonna keep my eye on it. Maybe for the Switch too. Actually, it looks like it might be a fun time there. And then the final one that is coming out this week that I saw was interesting is another spin on a classic, another roguelike spin on a classic thing. It's this Cup of Claw, and it is a claw machine
Oh.
roguelike.
Oh man, and Steam is down for maintenance right
Oh
now.
no!
As we're trying to look
Anyway,
stuff up.
no
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Right when
Perfect.
we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. Anyway, that's all right.
That's okay.
Cup of Claw looks cool. I'll just explain it to you all. A little bit of the theater of the mind. And basically, there's a claw machine, and it looks like you add, like when you go to the shop, you add special kinds of things. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
To the claw machine to pick up, and that's how you get the points that you need to get to the next round. It looks fun. Like, we've seen a little bit of this in that one game we reviewed.
Yeah, what was that one called?
I played that on mobile.
It had Claw in the name, I think, too.
Yeah,
Didn't it?
yeah, probably. This one looks more like that one was more of like your dungeon crawler roguelike, like where you're fighting enemies. This one looks more along the Bautro kind of realm where you're just trying to get to a certain number.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one looks pretty clean. Not too crazy. You never know with these games. It could just be like the next big thing. So figured give it a shout out. Those are some releases coming up.
There we go.
You want to talk about some demos that we played for Next Fest?
Yeah, so tried to play, like I mentioned before, a decent amount. There's some games here that I've already kind of mentioned. So I'm gonna just start by of course, I don't know if I can actually um pull this up on Steam. There we go. I guess I have to just go to Google to do it. But Gambonanza, once again, this might be just my highlight of the Next Fest. Truly, I think, and I was trying to sell it to a few of our buddies, this is on Baltro's level. I love playing Gambonanza. It is a turn-based chess roguelike. So just think Balatro, but chess, essentially. And I know we've talked about it before, but this one I probably put the most time into for the Next Fest. Really just can't recommend it enough. The demo, I believe, is still live, even though I know they took it down the last time for their playtest, but I think it's still up. I can't check
It
right
is.
now really on I guess I can look right there, but
It is.
yeah,
I,
it
I have
is.
it up. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so really just can't recommend this one enough. If you like Balatro, those kind of games, and you like chess a little bit, you don't really even need to know that much about chess. It is it's a great time. So I put a good amount of time into that one. I also played a little bit of Wielders of the Essence demo, um,
Oh,
which is see if I can look this
wield-
up real
Wielders
quick.
of the Essence.
Yes, so this is a
Oh yeah.
minimalistic incremental horde survival game. So think of like Vampire Survivors, but you
Oh,
kind of
I'm thinking
create a
of it
little
maybe.
team around you as you're running around, and then there's also kind of a when you're in the lobby area, you're kind of building new things, expanding your camp, getting new upgrades, new companions to help you fight. I had a good time with this one. It is at its core still, a survivor like. So if you're not into that kind of gameplay, it won't be for you. But I appreciated the differences here with this one. I also really like the art style. I like that it's more like isometric than Vampire Survivors. But yeah, this is a good one. Wielders of the Essence, I would kind of keep your eye on. It's also published by Coffee Stain, who they publish Valheim, I believe. So they've got a good track record of publishing games. Yeah, so I check out that one, Wielders of the Essence. I also played here we go, Akatori, Akatori demo. Um
Oh,
Akatori,
this one looked cool.
yes, so this is a Metroidvania where you're essentially like this kung fu kind of girl. You have one item through the entire game. It's a staff, and you use it obviously for combat, but you also use it to like interact with things in the world. You can vault up to things. You kind of use it for movement and to kind of help build momentum. This was a cool one. I was fortunate enough to actually get like a paid collab from them. They reached out to me to make a video about their game, and it was already on my list of like things I wanted to check out. So I was like, sure, of course. Uh, but playing it's awesome. It has a little bit of a learning curve in terms of like trying to figure out the momentum side of things, right? Of like making sure that you're kind of not stalling out. So figuring out what you can interact with, what things help you kind of continue your momentum. But Akatori, very cool Metroidvania. Highly recommend checking out the demo. I wouldn't say it's anything super groundbreaking. There's not any mechanics in it that I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. I think the thing that makes this unique is the fact you only have one item throughout the game. And Also, the boss battles are pretty cool. They aren't, at least the ones I experienced, but it's not just your standard, like, if you're thinking of Hollow Knight, right, you have to just, deal damage to the boss and then they die. Some of them are like chases where you need to escape the boss. Some of them are a little bit more arcadey where they're like the boss is just kind of dropping things down. And you need to dodge it and like survive a certain amount of time. So that was cool, kind of mixing that sort of stuff up, in Akatori. And then I played some Windrose as well. I think I talked about that last week. I put a video up of my first impressions of the game, actually, but this one was getting a ton of love. Like, I think did it get over 1 million wish lists? I think it might have. It is a PvE survival game. Kind of think Sea of Thieves, but without the PvP, third person. It's almost like Sea of Thieves meets Valheim, kind of. I had a great time playing this. I can't wait till it comes out. It's got a lot going for it. They do a lot of things right. You can tell they took their time to like cook on this. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Windrose. So my video's up on my own channel, Matty Gorm, if you're interested in that. And then yeah, there was just a few, let's see, 2 other games that I didn't get to, that I wanted to try out. This one is Atmosphore. Um, of course, another open world survival game, but this one just looked really cool because I just love space, and I'm like, I kinda looked a little, I don't know, it's third person, like, you're a little space astronaut guy, and it seemed a little, cozy-ish in a way, kind of where you're just kind of exploring this planet. I'm not sure if it actually is cozy, but it seemed pretty cool. And then the only other one, of course, is another survival game that this one has a lot of hype around it. It's called Guardians of the Wild Sky. I didn't get a chance to play this, but you have like these flying mounts. It just, I don't know, it just seemed really cool. I don't know if it'll be for me. The gameplay reminds me a little bit too much of like something that's a little too ambitious, if that makes sense. Where I'm like, I don't know how well this is gonna run. But especially since you can like fly around, things like that. But this is from Blue Isle Studios. They also made this other game, Citadel Forged with Fire, which was another survival game that I think shut down. It came out in 2019. I thought this game was really cool. It was like a fantasy survival game where you're like a wizard and like, you learn spells and stuff. I thought it was really cool. And they did some things really well in terms of like progression that kind of wasn't a big thing at the time. I'd say this game was one of the first I played that had like a really good skill tree. But I know it had mixed reviews. I think it ended up shutting down, unfortunately. But it's from the same studio, so that's also why I'm excited about Guardians of the Wild Sky. But didn't get a chance to try the demo out. Um, I also played a little Super Battle Golf, which is, I don't know if they have a demo, but I did play a little bit of that. But yeah,
Yeah, I
that
played
that
some of that too.
that was pretty much everything that I can talk about that I played last week. But what about you, Tommy? What were you into? How many deck builders did you play?
Not as many as you would think. The first game I played was Loop Bound, which is deck builder probably adjacent, but is more of like a turn based RPG dungeon crawler, um, where you have like the kind of backpack management with your characters, or you're just trying to give them buffs, and you're trying to basically maximize what you can do within the amount of space they have in their inventory.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have this turn-based thing where you have different spells. I think the game has a lot of potential. I mean, the art style is awesome, right? I love the character design here. And I did have a decent time with it. I think I felt like the balancing was like way off when I was playing it, but it is a demo. So like it felt like kind of easy, right? Off the bat, which like I guess he kind of wanted to be a little easy for the demo, but I felt like this game, if it's going to be something that I really want to play, I think they got to dial up the difficulty. I did
Okay.
like, you know, one thing that I really loved was like you'd come across a chest or something like that. It was like you could pick from like 3 rewards, but you had to beat the number with your D20, right? So like you was like, oh wow, there's this really rare item, like super powerful, but you got to roll a 16 or higher. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna roll for the 16, and then like you would lose and you just wouldn't get anything. So I thought that was a cool like little RPG
Yeah.
thing to add in. But yeah, this one I'm going to keep my eye on. People are really loving it. I've even seen some TikToks of people playing it. So, you know, really cool. I think like the overall art style and vibe, I think is going to probably, get a lot of people to play this one. So it was
Yeah.
kind of neat. What else did I play? I played You Know the Drill, which is not a deck builder. This one is kind of, it's like a survivor like, where you're just drilling around. It's like pretty casual. You just like, and then you kind of build out like a skill tree.
Mm.
I think you would like this one a lot, right? Because it has that kind of incremental vibe too. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're starting to like it's like a more interactive incremental game, like where you kind of have to control your drill, and like your drill only has X amount of like gas or whatever. You know, like so much time like when you're going through, and it starts out like really slow, and I was like, why is this like thing so slow? And then I realized I had to like really upgrade it. So I think this one will be a nice little time killer. So this one was cool. I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I kind of got the gist like after, like a half hour with the game. So like I was like, it's cool. I think like, I can definitely see the appeal here. And what else did I
Hmm.
play? Oh, so the next two are deck builders, right? So these are games that I actually am really excited about. The first one is Bloodletter. This one's so interesting to me. This one is a deck builder where you're kind of like managing a town of like people, and you are like healing them, but every like there's always like a demon every like cycle
Hmm.
that is like cursing them and like making them lose health. And they have basically two health resources, like your regular health and then like their purity or whatever it was called. So you're playing cards like in an order to like get through the day and get to the point where you beat the demon that is like kind of terrorizing the town. And there's like some really cool systems here. I think that it probably needs a little bit more work, right? But the demo is very impressive, and like the art style is so cool. It's got like that tarot card theming,
Yeah.
and I think that this one will be a really good release if they shore up some of the issues that like they're not major issues. I just kind of felt like there were times in the demo you're just like, you know, this would have been nice if they kind of shored this up a bit. But that being said, I think that this game has a lot of potential. It's really neat. And finally, I played a game that is probably going to be the biggest like game that ever was made.
Oh dear,
Var-
two baby.
no, Vampire Crawlers.
Oh my
I
god, that's the one I meant to play. I
This
didn't get
one,
a chance to play.
this is the most fun little deck builder ever. Like, I mean, like the
Wow.
strategic.
Wow.
It,
That's high praise,
it is
Tom.
high praise. It's not for the thinkers out there, right? It's
I'm out.
like there is some thinking that you gotta do, but like it's dopamine hits that you get from Vampire Survivors, but in card game form, and it was just like so addicting. And I can't wait for the full release of this game. I beat the demo like twice, like went through and you know, went through all the like available content. It's just like such a nice, fun little stupid game that they captured lightning in a bottle again. And I this one I was like unsure about when I saw the trailer, right? I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like, you know, like this is such a weird way to kind of pivot after Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, this one where
And
everyone's like, what the hell's going on here?
uh-huh. And then I played it and I'm like, this is so much fun. This is just absolutely insane. But yeah. Yeah, people are gonna love this game. It's like just like because it's not there's I mean there's synergy or whatever, but like basically like the thing you want to do is play cards in cost order to like get buffs and stuff like that. And like, so you'll be like, oh, I'll cast a 0 cost and then a 1 cost. And then the 2 cost is doing like all these hits and like ding, 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 ding. You're getting all these coins. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's dopamine city in this
And
game.
how does it work with because whenever like those arrow keys show up, like do you have a certain number of moves or can
No,
you just kind of move until you get to an event, basically?
it's just like a classic, you know, like late 80s, early 90s dungeon crawler, like where
Okay.
you know, that's just how you can just use your WASD or your arrow keys if you want.
Okay.
Um, yeah, this is gonna be a banger. So
Awesome.
yeah,
And Steam Deck verified. Look at that.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to
If it's still
try this one
available, you
out.
should play it.
Yeah, it looks like it is. And this is Vampire Crawlers, the Turbo Wild Card from Vampire Survivors. So I don't. Does that mean there's going to be different Vampire Crawler games? I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna make sure I try this demo out soon before it's like taken down if it does get taken down because that was the other one that I forgot about that I got to play.
Um, yeah, it was cool. And 3 games I didn't really like get the time to like. I mean, I started playing this game called Titanium Court. It was I just didn't have the time or the mental bandwidth to commit to this game because it was a little bit all over the place. But people are really liking it, so I wanted to download it. Eternal Life of Goldman. There was a demo of that, so I downloaded it and didn't have time to get to it, but people are pretty hype on that game as well.
What is it
And
called?
then the Eternal Life of Goldman.
Oh, The Eternal Life of Goldman.
This
Very
game, I mean, it
nice.
just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, art style looks awesome.
art style is sick.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
This
And
is
then
a Metroidvania? Oh, just a platformer. Wow, this looks really cool.
yeah, this game, I mean, apparently is pretty cool. And then I downloaded Revive and Repeat, and it says I played it for 4 minutes. I don't remember playing it for 4 minutes. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like this one too much, or like it wasn't like as in depth as I hoped it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I actually no, I do remember this a little bit. I played games like this on mobile a lot. It didn't it didn't feel like it was doing anything different, but obviously I didn't. I was like, this is exactly something I have played on my phone before that
Yeah.
I didn't even really like it then. So, but anyway, that's what I played, man. Vampire Crawlers and Bloodletter, though, are the big games that I'm looking forward to from this next fest.
I think there's something that we can always expect from Tommy. It's that he finds games with really cool names. Bloodletter. I mean,
Yeah, it's cool. It's
pretty
like a really
cool.
cool game.
Yeah, no,
So
the art style for that, let me just pull it back up here. Looked sick. I was getting like, you know, side effects kind of vibes from it,
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit, but like this seems more detailed than side effects, but um yeah, this one looked wild for sure. So
yeah.
it just goes to show, I mean, like it's crazy how many good looking games come out that no one really talks about. Like I've never even heard of this, never seen anyone post it. Um, but it looks amazing. So very cool stuff.
Yeah, excited to see what the development is gonna end up being looking like. I don't. Do they have a date for it?
Just 2026, it looks like. Um,
2026. Oh, the
yeah.
demo's been out since 2025. So like,
Yeah.
um,
It just worries me. It's like demo update 0.0.4.
yeah,
It's like they're
yeah.
not even halfway there to
I
1.0.
know.
But very cool though, very cool. But it's too bad Next Fest doesn't actually help out anything.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
shame.
yeah.
Yeah. But,
I only found like a billion games I wanted to play.
yeah. Yeah.
But hey, listen. Next week is going to be a banger too because we get to play Slay Spire 2. I'm excited. We got some listener questions if you want to get into them.
Let's do it. What are they? Shoot them.
First,
Shoot.
shoot them. K Moore asks, if you were to write a movie or show based on your favorite game, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, I would write. Oh, well, I'm not a good writer, but if I was good, I would definitely write a Gears of War TV show, personally. I think that there's a lot of interesting things that happen in the books that are just not in the games, a lot of cool moments, and it would be kind of um, like a good action kind of show. So there's been talks about a Gears of War movie for a while. Apparently, they started casting for it or whatever, but they just always end up going silent. And then, how movies are. They just, you hear about something being made and then it's just off the table for one reason or another. So I don't think it's actually going to happen. It'd be really cool if it did, but I'd pick Gears as a show because I think that games should be shows more than movies because I think that sometimes there's too much to cover when
Mm-hmm.
it's a movie. It depends on the game though. Like obviously like the Super Mario movie was really cool. I can't wait for Galaxy, right? But for like I appreciated that like The Last of Us was a show even though they screwed up season 2. It allowed them to, kind of pace themselves. So That's what I would go with. But what about you, Tom? What deck builder? Balatro, the movie.
I know Balatro would be such a hard one. I was just thinking
Yeah.
about like could they even do that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like it's like one of those ones where it's like you're just kind of taking a concept. Like they made a Tetris movie, right, and a
Yeah.
Pac-Man movie. Like they've done all of that. So like I think that you could probably do something along those lines, but I'm not gonna push it. I'm not the one to do it, but
Yeah.
I think yeah.
I think it could be really interesting too to have a Portal movie. Because I just think like Aperture Science, like that, it like there's a lot of humor in it. Like it could be
Hmm.
a funny movie if you cast it right. Um, yeah, I think that's another one that could be good as a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a really tough one to answer for me because of stuff like this. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I what like they're doing a Zelda thing, right? So
Yeah.
that is, and we've had Pokemon movies and shows, obviously. Ah, golly, I don't know. Maybe. Hmm. hmm. I
Hmm.
think
That it
like a
should be.
RuneScape movie would be funny because
Ooh.
you could just you could just do like who cares? It's just gonna
Yeah.
be like they just have them dressed like the characters from RuneScape,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Maybe actually, it's gonna be a Baltra movie, and basically it's less about the actual game, but like it is like an interdimensional casino, right?
Okay.
Where everything like it's you can have a competitive edge at these gambling games, but like you could like really just like get totally screwed. Like these antes
Ooh.
are
Yeah.
crazy. So I think
Baltro
that you can
Casino.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think you could do a movie. Like you can't do a show for Balatro. It's just
Yeah.
like there's the content is not there.
Yeah.
you know. So
And the after credit scene would be the face reveal of Local Funk, and then that's it.
yeah. What's funny? You mentioned what is it called? The show you just mentioned that screwed up season 2. The Last of
Last of
Us.
Us. Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw somebody on TikTok talking about like shows and movies that like, we're starting to get good stuff, right? And for video game adaptations. And they were just talking about that. I think they were basing that off of like there was another show or movie announced. But they mentioned Last of Us being like a good thing, right? We all know that season 2 messed up, but are we not going to ignore that the first season was amazing? Like I like all the comments was like, this guy doesn't know what he's. I mean, like maybe I
Yeah.
was getting like a little whiplash from when like people were dunking on me, but like I was like, okay, like we can't just say that the
Yeah.
first season like didn't exist because it was really good.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any really real haters of the first season to my memory. So I
Yeah.
think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But
It's
anyway.
funny because like they, people made fun of like Bella Ramsey being cast as Ellie, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear a ton of that during the first season because people were enjoying it. It's until the second season where people were like, "And why did you cast her?" That's when they started getting really loud with it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes to show you like it doesn't. I mean, I would have liked someone else probably cast as her. I think she did fine in season one, but it just goes to show you, like, if you have a good story, it doesn't really matter who is playing that character, like if they can perform it well, right? Even if they don't look like them. But yeah, I know. I agree. And there's a God of War show that's supposed to be coming out too. I saw like I don't even know if that picture's real, but like
It is. It's from.
is it
It's a
actually
real.
real? Because
Yeah.
because the guy who plays Kratos, whatever, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, I forget his name,
Yeah.
he like posted on Instagram like, "Don't believe everything you see." But that picture was from Sony, so I don't know what that means. mistakes.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what that means, but Atreus, he looks like a little baby. I don't think he
Does
should
it
be that young.
look like Hasbula?
Yeah, I know. It's just I think Kratos looked fine, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens with that. But that's the most frustrating thing is when like there's an adaptation and they're not, you don't have to be exactly like the game, but you should be
yeah.
pretty close, shouldn't make like those mistakes. So we'll see. I still need to watch season 2 of Fallout as well, but I know the first
Mhm.
season I really liked. So that's another one that I do feel like it's more successful usually when it's a show. Um, but at least the first seasons of shows. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Now, Bags is here asking a question about questions. This is getting a little meta right now.
yeah,
What are your favorite types of questions to answer for the pod? Food, gaming, or other types of media questions? I'm down with whatever question.
yeah,
Doesn't matter to me. Anything. I'm an open book. I'm an
yeah,
open video game.
yeah. I think I actually like questions about the podcast too. We get some of those
Mm-hmm.
of like, how do you guys decide this sort of stuff? Because then I have to think, oh, how do we? Because we don't really like talk a lot about that. But yeah, any question, I'm always down to talk any topic, as long as I know it. But um, yeah, I don't know. Food is always fun though because I like we have a food picks channel in the Discord, so it's always fun seeing what people are eating in there, which I have to post more in there. But yeah, good stuff. I like the questions that aren't from bags. That's what I'll say. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Aw.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, let's go down to the rec room before we say goodbye. Thanks for the questions, though. You can all submit those on the Discord. What do you have to recommend this week? This is where we recommend something.
so I am recommending Parks and Rec. Parks and Recreation because I just finished the whole series for Parks and Recreation. Great show. Highly recommend it if you're into things like The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that kind of, NBC. I forget who Greg Daniels writes that, right? Um, Great show. I think it had good character development. Some of the characters, I don't know, they just kind of stayed the same, but I actually accidentally watched the finale for for it without realizing it. So we were watching it. We knew we only had a few episodes left, so we were trying to savor it, me and Lady Juice. And then I'm watching what I thought was the second to last episode, but I guess my like media server like messed up and the last episode was the same as the second to last episode. So I'm watching the second to last one and Lady Juice fell asleep halfway through and then it ended and she woke up and I was like, I think you just missed the series finale for the show. She's like, no. So we have to rewatch it. But everything that they were doing in it, I was like, how are they going to set up the finale? They're like buttoning up a
They're
lot of
wrapping
things
it
here.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good. Very funny show. I was never like a big Amy Poehler fan with like SNL stuff.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, like some stuff she did was funny, but some of it I was like, like I just didn't find her like super funny. But this show, I mean, I also watched Making It on Hulu, which was great. Which is like a game show with her and Nick Offerman. And she was funny in that. And then I was like, let's watch some Parks and Rec. Watched it. She's hilarious in it. It's a really funny show. So recommending Parks and Rec. It'll now be on the shuffle playlist for us for our media server. So whenever we want to watch something, we'll just shuffle some Parks and Rec since we've seen them all now. So
Nice.
yeah, but
Nice.
great show. I'm a big fan of those kind of shows. So there you go. Boom. That's the
Yeah,
rec.
we just started. This is not my rec because I didn't finish it, but we just started watching Jury Duty. Did you
Season
watch that?
one?
Season one. I saw
Yeah.
the trailer for the second
Oh,
season. I was
dude,
like,
season one, man, you're gonna love it. It is.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
some stuff that is so funny in that with James Marsden and oh my god, yeah, it's
Yeah, we're a couple episodes in. It's I like we put it off for far too long, but
have you seen him? Did he bring up Sonic yet at
like
all?
he
The
pretty early.
movie?
He's like, I heard that movie
Yeah,
wasn't good.
I heard that movie wasn't
And
good.
then like the next day, he's like, I watched it, man. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's like,
Like,
are you like a main character?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh
yeah,
God, I'm so sorry." Yeah. Oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah. They found
like
the
James.
perfect guy for that first season.
Yeah, and the second season looks like they found the perfect guy again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
should be interesting. But my recommendation is a movie called One Battle After Another. This is starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and I think this is the big three there. But I had wanted to watch a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Guy did, Boogie Nights and did. Is Boogie Nights right? That might not be right. But There Will Be Blood, Licorice Pizza, movies like that. The Master. And I had heard good things about this one. And I thought it was amazing. It's funny. It's like action. It's like kind of like pretty heavy dramatically at times. It's like anxiety, like it almost has like the bear level of anxiety at times, but like there are just so many funny lines in this movie that like I keep saying to myself because it just like it's a crazy movie because like the whole concept is nuts. There's social commentary too, which is cool. So like it's like a wild ride. And like, you know, I look over at Lady Fresh and she was like, getting like the anxiety. She's like, I don't know if I can keep watching this, but I was like glued to it. It was so much fun. So
Hell yeah. I have that on my list actually. I have it downloaded. I just haven't watched it yet. So I'm glad to know you think it's good because it looked good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio plays this like kind of a loser, right? And he just plays it so well. And then Sean Penn plays. It's like the funniest I've ever seen Sean Penn, right?
Yeah.
He just plays this like crazy person. And the things that come out of his mouth are just like insane. So, and he delivers them so well. And then Benicio del Toro is great and everything. So, but yeah, One Battle After Another.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It might win the Oscar. Who knows? That's what people are thinking. So,
Well, good for Oscar.
good for Oscar.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Next week, Slay the Spire 2. So, that's a big week for indie games. But I can be found at Fresh Buds Pod on Blue Sky. I have another podcast called Fresh and Buds. I'll be having a bud on this week, Vistra, aka Barrett Goss, who plays kind of somewhat locally. He's a Philly guy. We'll be talking about a big band list that came out and a new set that is getting announced right now as we speak. And yeah, it'll be a good time. Where can people find you?
Find me at Matty Gorm, GORM on the socials. I have been trying out something new on YouTube, which people seem to be liking, even though it doesn't bring in the views, but basically, but it brings in quality views, which is what I care about. So I've been basically just doing like first impressions on like I just sit down for like an hour, play like a survival game, just give my thoughts as I'm playing. And I've had some people like comment, dude, you are so chill. And I'm like, thank you. That's amazing to say. So I don't know. I'm just trying out something new. And if you're interested in that, I think it's pretty good stuff to like throw up while you're working or on the background, in the background somewhere. So, yeah, check it out. Matty Gorm on YouTube. But, and then you can find the show. Did we talk about the show? Where can you find the show? Fresh Juice Pod on everything.
On everything. I didn't mention
go.
that.
There you
I
go.
just assumed since you're here, but you can find us on everything.
Yeah, everything. But there we go. Another ep in the books.
Hey.
Excited for next week.
Next week, we're getting juicy.